And I hate to even bring this up, but it just happened today. Literally about an hour or two before I got on here, I found out about this. So I have to talk about it, y'all. We just have to. I hate to talk about this when it comes to this woman, Alycia Baumgardner. I hate to. But according to Boxing Insider Dan Raphael, Alycia Baumgardner tested positive for the banned steroid mesterolone in a urine test that was conducted on July the 12th, which was 3 days before she beat and defeated Christina Leonardito to retain her belts. Okay? Now, Christina is promoted by my guy, a good man, a great promoter, Hall of Famer, former HBO executive of sports, Mr. Lou DiBella. Okay? And this, I know, Love 6071. I said the same thing. Mr. Finesse, I said the same thing. Brian King, I said the same thing. Broke my heart when I had to hear about this first and then read it. Well, according to my guy, promoter Lou DiBella, this is what he said. I believe this was from his Twitter account. And he said these words. As Christina's promoter, I have been informed that there were adverse PED findings in the test of the champion, Alycia Baumgardner. At this point, I have no specific information. I believe that the Michigan Commission and World Ratings organizations have been informed. He then later said at 2:07 p.m. today, his words, not mine, Lou DiBella says, Michigan will not confirm anything to me and told me I would need to make a Freedom of Information Act request. We call it the FIA. I have not heard from the sanctioning bodies yet. PED testing in boxing is a trip. So the reason why Lou DiBella, promoter of Christina, is referring to the Michigan Commission because their fight, Alycia Baumgardner's and Mamba Christina's fight, was in the state of Michigan. Of course, that's the state that Alycia lives and resides and represents. And this was like a hometown event for her, a coming out party, as you will, as she was fighting Christina. Now, I have to say this because this is as equally as important. We all know that Alycia Baumgardner is a great fighter. She has one loss on her record. But that loss that's on her record, which was years and years ago, was against Mamba Christina. So basically, she was in a rematch with the woman who gave her her first loss. And now this happens. We have to talk about this in the chat because if it was anybody else, we would be talking about it. Okay? I don't understand why Michigan won't confirm with the promoter and basically is requesting him to make the FIA request. You know, I wouldn't say it's HIPAA law because the thing about it is, so of course with the HIPAA law, yes, it is a law that protects all of our privacy when it comes to health-related matters. This is not a health-related matter. Any athlete using performance enhancement drugs, even though it has something to do with health, of course, but it usually affects the effects of the PEDs affect the other opponent too, in a negative way. You know, so this is more than an FIA scenario because the promoter have been informed already. All right. And so the fact that Dan Raphael is speaking on this, that meant that somebody told him. You know who Dan Raphael is. He has over 20 something years in this business of reporting and journalism. So it's like the fact that he's speaking on this without him filing the FIA request. Usually, when we hear adverse findings, that means that the second finding, right? Because you got two, sample A and sample B, all right, in a urinalysis. When we talk about testing for banned substances. And usually when the findings in the A is positive, the findings or adverse findings in sample B, it usually is too. Good question, Diana. Salute to you, Diana. Diana asked me a question, and I want everybody to see the question that she asked me. It's very important. Diana said, Manager Marty, will all her wins be affected or just the last one? Well, it would basically just be the last one because obviously she passed other testing protocols before this fight, and apparently her testing results came back negative before. But in this fight, um, it came up positive. This is what we are hearing. So it would be the fight that she actually tested positive for. Now, the reason why Lou DiBella is mentioning, as you can see on your screen, the sanctioning bodies and how he haven't heard from them yet is because in these type of situations, usually the sanctioning bodies have the authority to strip the fighter who was basically holding their title of their title. You know, if you're tested positive for a banned substance. So your wins won't be affected because there's no evidence of how long a fighter have been cheating or if they won or lost when they were using banned substances. I don't know, Aaron Muhammad. I conducted my research to find that out. Nothing came up. Yet I thought I saw her in the past, but I with that program, but I'm not sure. That that's where we are. It's really heartbreaking though. I did my research, Aaron. You know that. But it's really heartbreaking. Um, Sometimes when fighters do test positive for a banned substance, and it's rare, but it does happen, y'all. And we gotta look at this from both sides of the coin. Some fighters take supplements that have certain ingredients in it, and the ingredients itself is on the banned substance list, and the fighter may not know that, or the athlete in general may not know that, even though they're injecting um, themselves with it or digesting it. And I'm saying injecting, and that really doesn't even sound right, but I'll just use the word digesting. I'll be safe to use that word. With supplements that's out here, most of this stuff is not approved by the FDA and other um, organizations and agencies that facilitate this all these brands of protein shakes and nutrition bars and all this stuff, and vitamins and all these different ingredients. Some of those smaller ingredients that make up those substances, which are legal, the ingredients may be on a banned substance list as illegal. And sometimes boxers do inadvertently using these protein shakes and stuff. Not saying this happens all the time, just saying it's rare. When they're using these supplements, right, while they're training. So we don't know if this was intentional or unintentional with Alycia. And I'm not accusing her of intentionally cheating. I'm just telling y'all this is what's going on as far as the facts that we know it as today. I agree with you in the chat. I agree with you. I do agree that things should just be natural, but this is science. Technology has evolved over the last, you know, uh, 10, 20 years. So I don't know. Hey, we don't know. Like you said, love, sexy 71. Good point. She could have been taking birth control pills. We don't know. But it's just a sad situation for us to even talk about this um, with her. She's a nice woman. I met her several times. Um, the last time I saw her, like I said, she was in my city. She was in Philly. We busted up. She's just a nice person. I took a picture with her. She's just a humble young lady, man. And she can fight too. And so I know several people that know her personally. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. Like we just heard it from who just tested Dillian White recently. Who was that? That was about to fight Joshua. You know what I mean? Or in Big Baby Jarrell Miller. I mean, man, just people that, man, when you test positive, man, it's just so sad because, especially if you're a repeated offender, you know, not calling no names out, but we see there's been some repeated offenders in this sport that kept cheating over and over. And it's like, fighters really get hurt in that ring, even when someone's not on supplements or steroids or PEDs. So the fact that someone's enhancing their performance illegally and causing all of these physical and emotional and psychological problems by cheating their opponent is really sad. Really, really sad. So I just wanted to bring that up because that's late breaking news. I didn't break the news, but I just heard about it first and then I read about it second. And this was literally a couple hours ago when Lou DiBella posted this, I believe on his Instagram, not Instagram, on his on his Twitter page. So that's where we are with that.